Hey, welcome back to the program. This is the fourth and final segment of the big program. HittnerGroup.com, HITTNER Group, HittnerGroup.com. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. We're in here with Kelvin Kaemingk of American Mortgage Home Loans, or whatever you're calling it nowadays.
It's AMEC Home Loans.
AMEC Home Loans.
Has
AMEC.
been for some time now.
So tell me about
Right.
your world now in December. I know that we talked a little bit the last segment. You are out meeting with your team and kind of setting the stage for 2020. Going to knock it out of the ballpark.
We're going to try. So we had a, one thing that you guys know, I'm very realistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while we had a record-breaking year and, everybody kind of can find themselves patting themselves on the back, rates went down,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
We didn't anticipate having a small refi boom. So doesn't mean that you're that much better or that much worse, right? It just means that the market was
favorable.
Favorable. Yep. It was really favorable to us having a great year. And
Mm-hmm.
and the people in our group just had a fantastic year. I'm fortunate to oversee some offices in the Twin Cities for AMEC and just phenomenal people, phenomenal producers. We have out of the 11 people there, 4 of them, are closing over $40 million of production this year, and just the rest are in that $20 and $30 million mark. So it's just fantastic. So one of the things we do annually then that I love to do, it's my favorite day of the years, we just go back and look at what was our theme for 2019. And as we went through our themes of 2019, we went through them, and then every meeting that I'm at, we talk through those, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2019, our themes were accept the grind, because remember, coming into 2019, we were all nervous about what's the market
Mm-hmm.
going to be, what are we in store for? The weather was horrible. I mean, there's just not a lot going on, and we were just like really concerned corporately. Even I think we made a good decision relative to the information we had at the time. Turned out to be a bad decision, right? Having to let some people go, and then you get caught on that later in the year.
Right.
We're fortunate to have Todd Elstead, who owns the company there, and Jennifer Harrison, who runs the company, at our meeting as well. And we talked about some of those things, but we talked about the first theme last year was just accept the grind. Just, you got to grind it out sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was bottom line money. So I was really concerned for these guys all running their businesses. We need to not look at just top line money, but bottom line money. So that means control the expenses. What are you spending money on? Do you need the staff? Do you need the marketing? Do you need those things or not? And then the last part of our theme for 19 was a year of abundance. So it didn't make any sense, right? So at that time, my son, Kyle, was doing a deal with YWAM, which is Youth with a Mission. He's in Florida, and then he was in the Himalaya Mountains. And he calls me one day and says, "Hey, Dad, I was praying for you and for AMEC and your business. And I just think," and this is in January, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're laying people off. The market is very slow. We're super concerned, right? And he calls me and says, "Dad, it's going to be a year of abundance." Well, and I'm like, I'm using it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using it. So, but then, to be honest, I am shifting that language, right? I'm using a year of abundance. Fritz, a year of abundance might mean in your family relationships, in your friendships. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking financial at all, because I'm going, it's going to be a tough year financially, but we can still, through a tough year financially, it can still be a year of abundance. Well, it can be that, and it was that, but then it was also a year of abundance in terms of where people are at financially, just because of the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So those were our 3 themes for last year, right? And I was like, my son has a lot of gifts, right? But one is a gift of prophecy, and being able just to pray that and have the Lord put that on his heart to share that. So so then this year, we laid out. So I laid out. We kind of closed the chapter on that. We opened up our new chapter for 2020 on our themes, and our first theme for 2020 is being undaunted, right? So we have a good friend, and Keith knows them, and going through a battle with cancer, and was literally told 7 years ago to get his affairs in order, right? From the Mayo Clinic, to say, hey, go home, get your affairs in order. And it's kind of
the end.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he proceeded to fight and battle holistically, right? For the last 7 years, winning the battle. But the battle, eventually all of us
We'll lose the war.
lose,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so he's been writing a blog all this time, right? And it's called Pressing On, Living Undaunted, right? So one of our themes for 2020 is now undaunted. So talking to my managers about what does that word mean? The second word was being relentless. So what does being relentless mean? And so these guys were talking about this, this attitude of being undaunted, not letting your circumstances shake you too much, right? Being relentless just in the pursuit of those daily activities, because ours is all a discipline, just like yours. You have to do, Fritz, you and I were talking about this morning, it's a daily discipline of some certain key activities to be successful, right? And then our last theme this year is joy. Because what I found this last year was I'm talking to some people, some of my managers that are having phenomenal years, right? And the money, and these guys are making a good living. They're doing that, but man, they had no joy. So I spent a lot of time talking about joy, and we talked about what gives you joy, and then what steals your joy, right? And I think when you look at joy is an underlying way that you live, right? It's not just based on your circumstances. I think it's very heavily faith related. I think it's very heavily your world outside of your work. So I can have guys super successful going, I'm talking to one of my managers, he said, I'm literally shaky right now because I just had my best month ever and I don't know how I'll repeat it.
Right.
I don't know how I can keep it up. And I'm going, oh my gosh, can you just be happy?
Right.
Can you just be happy? You had your best month ever. Can we just live here a minute and just celebrate?
Be in the present.
Yeah, and that's what we did yesterday and last night, and just had a great time of celebration, but then really focused on, that's why it's one of our themes. I think I got to keep it in front of our guys this year on joy. And then it says, behind that, it says joy, the bigger why. So what's your bigger why? Because it can't be financial. It can't, you've had a successful career, Keith. It can't be about the money, right? The money ebbs and flows, right?
Yep.
It does for all of us, but what's that underlying joy? And then what steals the joy? You know what steals joy from everybody? Fear and comparison. Comparison was the number one thing. Fear was second. Comparison. I have a great month. Someone had a better month. I had a great month. Somebody had a little better, right? And it was super frustrating here. I'm like, I'm a pretty real guy, man.
Yeah, and
I'm just like,
I fall into that trap all the time. And we get our awards at the end of the year all the time, and last year we were ranked, what it was, 9th in the world, 9th worldwide for all of NRTs, whatever it is, 200,000 agents,
right? All
their companies. And here our little pipsqueak group in Minneapolis is ranked 9th. And I was upset because we weren't first.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. You're almost,
but you're also competing against these California companies.
Yeah, Singapore.
It's ridiculous.
The number one was Singapore or someone in Singapore, whatever. But still, yeah.
So it was good to talk about joy and forcing them to verbalize in front of the group of their peers that are all great managers. Say, what is joy? What does it mean? Where do you find your joy? What steals your joy? And it was a great conversation to have, and then to also have the leadership of your company sit there and listen to their top leaders talk about joy, which is kind of crazy.
Take an interest in it.
Yeah, and so it was really.
How did they react to that?
Who the
owners?
Really good. They're kind of blown away that we asked that we go there. Right. That you go to that depth and I love the relationship side of the business. We talked about this more. I love that side. I don't need all the surfacey crap. I want to go deeper and get to the heart of what's going on, because I think that's where you can affect change, right?
Right.
And if we don't constantly have a conversation around joy, we don't constantly have a conversation about being relentless in the pursuit of excellence, right? So better than your best, right? So better than your best. How do you become better than your best? You just had your best year ever. How do you become better than your best, right? So that takes a refall effort. And you have to be undaunted when hard things come, because everybody gets
purposeful
attacked, right?
about it, because it's so easy to fall back into the transactional approach to things. Where it's just like, I got to get through this. I got paperwork that needs to get done. I need things that got to get recorded and filed and this and that and the other thing. You get in transactional about it, and it's hard to stay deep with people.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit, and I got my sheet, that's what I'm looking at, but I asked them for their top 7 strategic partnerships that they have, because some people have a few relationships that are deeper, and some have, these guys are closing 125 loans in the year, and they'll do it with 60 to 70 realtors. not deep with any of them,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think, so I want your top 7. And then what's the strategy to go deeper with 7, right? Can you go deeper with 7? So we had spent time on that. We talked about, what I'm proud of. So instead of just saying what was successful, what were you personally proud of? And then what would you have liked to change? Like there's always those things, right?
Yeah.
This past year that I
Absolutely.
would have liked to have changed that.
Yeah.
That was kind of a miss,
Yeah.
right? And so it was just a great day, and we kind of used up the whole segment. I'll end with rates are still good. You're going to see a lot of news right now that rates are going up. They are going up a little bit, but it didn't even shift 1/8% in rate. So don't be scared or nervous when you hear rates
it's
are
not
up.
all over.
Nope. So give me a call. Love to have a conversation. If you like some of the stuff that we talk about on our planning day and just want to have a conversation about that, or maybe you're a business owner and say, hey, let's talk a little bit about planning strategies and all that. Love to have that conversation with you as well. You can always reach me at 651-231-2500.
That's it for this week. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, the leaders of the #1 Coldwell Banker Burnett real estate team in Minnesota. If you